Treasury of Illustrated Classics, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Vern. Chapter 8. The Dugong. Captain Nemo stepped out onto the deck just as Ned was running to get his harpoon. Ned bumped into the captain and knocked him down. I thought Nemo would be furious, but he got up smiling, turning to face a worried Ned. "What's your hurry?" the captain asked. "That!" exclaimed Ned, pointing to the Dugong. "I wanted to get my harpoon." "So you would like a hunt?" said Captain Nemo. He called to some of his sailors. Soon they came on deck with harpoons. The rowboat was put into the water and made ready for the hunt. Ned jumped in the rowboat, taking a place in the front. Conseil and I sat in the back. The rowboat was ready to push away from the ship, but the captain did not get in. "Aren't you coming, Captain?" I asked him. "No," he replied, "but I wish you good luck." We pushed off and headed toward the floating dugong. The oars were silent as they sliced the water. We crept up close to the huge creature and took a good look at it. It was about 30 feet long. Two very long pointed teeth stuck out of its mouth. The dugong looked more dangerous close up than it had from the ship. Ned stood ready to throw his harpoon. Just as the harpoon left his hand, Dugong hissed and dove under the water. "1,000 devils!" groaned Ned. "You wounded it!" cried Conseil. "Look at all the blood in the water!" He chased the wounded animal for an hour, and Ned was getting very angry that we couldn't catch it. All of a sudden, the huge beast charged right at our little boat. The boat almost turned over. It was flooded with gallons of water. For a second, we forgot the dugong and tried to bail out our sinking boat. All of us were working to keep the boat afloat, all except Ned. He was trying his hardest to kill the mighty dugong. He stood tall and firm, sinking his harpoon into the creature again and again, but the dugong would not die. I heard the teeth of the beast grinding on the boat. Then, to our horror, the giant animal lifted our boat right out of the water. We were falling all over each other, but nobody could do anything to stop the dugong. Ned stood up, fighting to keep his balance. He threw his harpoon with the last of his strength. His aim was perfect. The dugong had been pierced right through the heart. We all cheered. With a groan, the dying animal sank. The huge dugong was dead at last. Back we went to the Nautilus, towing Ned's prize catch behind us. That night at dinner, we were served the most delicious meat we had ever eaten. The tasty roasted dugong was better than either steak or candy. Ned was the hero of the day, and we all drank a toast to him. The next day, late in the afternoon, I joined Captain Nemo at the lookout. We saw the sun setting behind steep, rocky cliffs, and we seemed to be heading straight for them. "What are we doing?" I asked, a bit afraid. "We are heading for the secret Arabian tunnel. Those cliffs mark the entrance, and I'm the only one who knows where it is," said Nemo. "Do you mean the tunnel is underwater?" I asked him. "Get below," ordered the captain. "The ship is about to go under." That answered my question. The captain himself would steer the Nautilus through the narrow tunnel. Down into the dark tunnel we went. The rock walls closed in on us. All at once a strong current grabbed the ship, and we shot through the tunnel like a bullet. Out of the window, I could see the ruins of an ancient city. It was the lost continent of Atlantis. I could almost see the ghostly robes of forgotten kings drifting in the current. The next day, I was reading on a couch near the big window. All of a sudden, I began to feel very hot. I looked at the thermometer on the wall. It read 100 degrees. I could see that the water was white and bubbly outside the ship. The sea itself was boiling. I touched the window by mistake, and it burned my hand. Just then, Captain Nemo walked in and looked out. "How would you like to see an underwater volcano?" he asked. "If we won't be boiled to death out there," I exclaimed. "Our diving suits will protect us," he promised me. Once we were outside the ship, the water began to turn a flaming red. Soon the volcano started to erupt. It was a beautiful and terrible sight at the same time. I was amazed by the power of nature. Before long, I began to sweat inside my suit. I felt as if I were being cooked alive. Captain Nemo must have felt the same, because he gave a sign to return to the ship. Again aboard the Nautilus, the captain ordered the engines to be started at once. Going at top speed, we left the fiery waters behind. Soon we were cruising through cool, crystal waters once more. Thanks for listening. If you like what you heard, please click like and subscribe.